Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and this is going to be your midday update here on stocks that are in play today. Okay, yeah, so if you'd like to check out more stocks, more in-depth TA, and learn how to trade using charts and technical analysis, please check out our chat. I will post a link at the end of the video. It'll be below the YouTube video. So check out TEVA here. It is hitting 670 here on RSI. It's still in the bull zone on Fasto. So what's going on is the big gap up open above the 100-day simple moving average. That's currently at 1655. That's the gold line there. It needs to stay above that level. If it can hold that level, it's going to signal it wants to head higher. It is hitting some resistance from over here in back in September and October, and so if it can bust through this 19 to 20 resistance level, then it could run up here to 23. That would be the next target to the upside. There is a gap here that did not fill. So you could see over here on the left, there's a gap between these two candles, and so a run up here just above 20 would fill the gap. Now the key is to hold that the 100-day simple moving average and EMA4 at 1652. Notice how the candles have been in a really strong uptrend. You know, they turned the 50-day simple moving average into support. You know, it may have to confirm the 100-day simple moving average before pushing higher. If you see a break above 19, that will be very bullish, and that'll signal that it's heading higher. Check out the big volume spike today. So there's giant volume. The long lower wick on today's candle does show loading off of low of day, but there is a black candle forming today, so that it is trading below its open. If you look here on the 15-minute chart, you can see the pullback after the gap up open. So the close yesterday was down here. There was a big gap up open. It pulled back. The candles just worked their way into the bands. Now currently EMA's 4 and 8 support are starting to break, and so that's going to be a red flag. You want to see those levels hold. You can see the pink line here has been breaking, and if it drops below the lime line, you could see a drop down here to the middle Bollinger Band at 1704. Okay, let's look at okay, and one more thing here. So to the upside, it needs to break high close horizontal resistance. So it has to get above this 1810 level. If it can get above 1810, that's going to signal it wants to head higher. If you see a drop below the 1765 level, that's going to signal downside risk. And then it's going to really signal downside risk if it breaks below the low close this morning at what was that, at 945. Okay, let's look here at IMUC. Okay, so it had the big gap up open today. Notice the black candle is forming. I did warn everybody about that. If the black candle starts to form, the strategy is to head to the sidelines. So congrats everybody that was in the chat. That we put out alerts right away when the 15-minute chart and 5-minute chart was showing the intraday charts were showing that people were locking in profits, and so that's going to happen after a huge gain. Notice the big pullback from high of day. Today's candle is forming above the upper Bollinger Band, so the candles are going to be working their way possibly back into the bands. The upper Bollinger Band's down here at 39, and so the big support levels to hold here are the 50 and 100-day simple moving averages at 33. That would be, or 33 and 34. So you want to see that bounce off of 34. Currently, it's hitting. There's high close horizontal resistance. Okay, so the high close here on October 24th, that is a big level to break, and so you really don't want to see a close below that level today, that 43 level. It's below that now because that was the formal double top level. As you can see, it double topped and then pulled back. So you don't want to see that. If that turns into resistance again, the candles could work back into the bands. It needs to hold the middle Bollinger Band down here at 31 to keep the uptrend going. Yesterday's close was way down here at 24, so there is a gap between high of day yesterday and low of day today. So it'd be best if it can stay above 34. The candles are just working back into the bands. You have a P-star bull flip, a giant volume spike today, MACD bull crosses on both time frames, and if you look here at the IMUC 15-minute chart, you'll see the candles working back into the bands. This candle right here was the big indecision candle, and so that was signaling to us that people were locking in gains. You had the big pullback from high of day with the volume spike, and so that was the red flag that the candles would likely work their way back into the bands, and so that's exactly what happened. If you didn't get out here in the first candle, the red candle, the next candle was the signal to lock them in, and then now it's working sideways. And so people did load down here off of 37 for the bounce, but yeah, it has to hold EMA 13 at 40. That's the green line or orange line. If it fails to hold that level, then you could see a drop down to the middle Bollinger Band at 36. It has to get back above EMA's 4 and 8. Currently 41 is the big resistance level. Above 41 signals that it could push higher, and then what you want to see is a break above the high close resistance level, which is 49. And so you want to see a break above 40. You want to see a break above 49. Notice how the low close down here at 41, how that's turning into resistance. You know, bulls want to see that you know, the candles above that level, then that could send the push back up to test 49. If 41 turns into resistance, then 36 is on deck. And then notice that the moving averages are way down here below. You have the 100, 250, and 300 simple moving averages. It needs to hold that 300 at 29. Okay, let's look at CUR. Okay, nice follow through today for CUR. Congrats everybody. So yeah, it closed up, or it didn't close up. It's up 8% here midday, and you can see the upper wick forming on today's candle. It is above EMA 4. That is the key level to hold. So as long as it holds EMA 4 support, this uptrend should continue. You know, it needs to bust through this upper Bollinger Band at 269, and then like we were saying in the last video, the big level to close above today is the closing price here on the what is that, the 7th. If it can close above that price here around 222, 223, then that should signal that it wants to push higher. You know, if it closes below that, then you know, the EMA 4 could be tested. It has you know, it has a very nice uptrend going. If you look here on the 15-minute chart, the candles are pushing higher above the middle Bollinger Band. It just needs to break out above the high close here at 236. If it can get above 236, that'll signal it wants to head higher. If it drops down here below this 219 level, 218 level, then that's going to signal downside risk. It needs to hold the middle Bollinger Band there at 221. Okay, so take a look at AMPE here. It's breaking out. It's breaking out above high close resistance. So that's the closing price here on the what is that, the 24th here, 23rd, on the 23rd here. It's breaking out above the $2 level, and so that's really a bullish move on giant volume. There is some profit taking off of 5-day. Today's candle is busting through the upper Bollinger Band at 19. Notice it is on a multi-day run, so there's 4 green volume bars in a row, and now it's busting through the upper Bollinger Band. Sometimes the candles will work back into the bands when that happens, similar to right here. So keep that in mind. You know, it can keep pushing higher though. There's no gaps to fill below. As long as the middle Bollinger Band down here at 168 holds, the uptrend should continue. Now that it's above 2, it needs to stay above 2. If it pulls back below 2, that would be a sign of weakness. Notice there's a PSAR bull flip. You've got MACD bull crosses, and there's a giant volume spike today. Okay, so take a look at the AMPE weekly chart here, and so this is showing the resistance that it's hitting. It's hitting the 200 week moving average at 250. It needs to get through that level to head higher. You've got the 300 week moving average right here at 3 to break as well. So get above 250, and $3 is the next big level to break. If it can't get above 250, that could signal a temporary top. Okay, as long as the EMA 4 at 191 is holding, the uptrend is super strong. If you look at the 15-minute chart, you can see it had the big volume early, you know, and it had the declining volume. Okay, so you had the pullback from high of day followed by the red candle. It was the red candle that was signaling, you know, the candles were above the upper Bollinger Band, and then once the red candle formed, it signaled that it was going to start to consolidate. The candles were going to work into the bands, and then this candle right here, the break below EMA 4, that was signaling downside risk. So now it has to get back above EMA 4. It's working on that right now. So if it can get above the 243 level, then that's going to signal it could push higher, and then what you want to see if you're a bull is a break above 275. That's the big level to break above. The key level to hold currently is the middle Bollinger Band down here at 227. Keep in mind that the middle Bollinger Band is rising, and so once the candles break below, that will signal the chart is breaking down. Okay, let's look at PVCT. This used to be a big board play. Now it's an over-the-counter stock. Check out how it's breaking out today on big volume. Notice how it's pushing super hard. You know, it was trading sideways for quite a while, and then it finally, you know, you notice it had the tight Bollinger Bands, upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band, super tight, trading above all the moving averages. So you have, you know, the 100, 300, 200, and 50-day simple moving moving average. The middle Bollinger Band is the 20-day simple moving average. It busted out above EMAs 4, 8, and 13, and now it's breaking out above the upper Bollinger Band on a big, with the no upper wick, so it's just pushing hard right now. And as you can see, it bottomed out down here, so it got delisted, and then they freaking tanked it, so it was up here, in the 70s or whatever. It was up here at these higher levels near 50. They drove it all the way down, to penny, down to the penny level, and then notice the big volume down here. This is the weekly chart. Each candle is a week of trading, and so that was the big load for people that could hold for an extended period of time, it looks like. And so it's been trading sideways here. Now it's starting to break out. Notice how it turned the 50-week moving average, the green line, into support at 0.0038 and the middle Bollinger Band. So that signaled that it's been in an uptrend since down here in October when it closed above. And so today it's breaking out. And so what it needs to do is close above high close resistance for the week, and that's going to be these two levels. So it needs to close above this cluster of levels here in October 2016, and then above this March 2017 level. If it can close above both of those levels, then the 100-week moving average at 14 will be the next target. It could top out here. This was prior resistance, and this could form a temporary top. If it can break above, that would be super bullish. If you look at the 15-minute chart for PVCT, it's just really super strong. Once it drops below EMA 4 at 0.061, the pink line, that'll be a signal that it's going to start to consolidate, and then that's when it could come down and test these other moving averages. As long as the middle Bollinger Band at 0.048 holds, the uptrend is intact. Take a look at MRNS here. So yeah, it had the nice bounce yesterday. It's been in the nice uptrend, and today it's breaking out higher. Notice how it's pushed above high close resistance, above the closing price here in the high close from December, and so after breaking above the December 7th closing price, that's signaling it wants to head higher. You want to see it now stay above that level. You want to see it keep holding EMA 4, and then if you look at the weekly chart here, you could see it's really busting out on the weekly chart. It's got a nice uptrend going. The candles are riding EMA 4 support higher. It started the uptrend down here in July, and it's been riding EMA 4 support ever since. A couple closes just below, but EMA 8 has been holding. So this is a really good long-term swing trade play. As long as EMA 4 is holding at 820, the chart is super strong. If it closes below and EMA 8 is holding at 740, it's still very strong as well. Those are the two key levels that signal that the bulls are in clear control. Once it closes below those levels, it could consolidate and come down and test that middle Bollinger Band. As long as the middle Bollinger Band's holding, the uptrend is intact. So this is very strong. It's trying to break out to the next levels. What it needs to do now is close above high close resistance. As you can see here, it basically it's this the closes in November and December. Last week's close, a close above both of those levels signals it wants to break out higher. And then you've got the then you're talking about really pushing over here into 2015 levels. So so this is really, if it can get above 10, this could keep pushing higher. This is filling the jar, as we like to say. It's heading back up here to this, into the teens most likely if the uptrend continues. Okay, look at JAGX here. So it's been in this big downtrend. It's bouncing here at the bottom. It's breaking above the middle Bollinger Band intraday, and then it pulled back. And so that's what has to happen. It needs to close above 15. If it can't close above 15, then that'll be a sign of weakness. The long upper wick shows profit taking. Okay, the first big step is closing above EMA 4 and 8. Notice how the candles have been below EMA 4 this entire time, EMA 13. So if it can get above that level, that could signal that it wants to get an uptrend going above 15. And then it has to break above the 50-day simple moving average at 17. And then, if you take a look here, AEMD, it's got on the 15-minute chart, you can see, let's see here first, on the daily chart, you could see where it had the nice close yesterday above the 100-day simple moving average at 134, and then it pulled back below. It needs to get back above the 100-day simple moving average. That'll signal it wants to head higher. So above 134 signals more upside. If it fails to get above 134, then it could consolidate. It needs to hold that EMA 4 at 123. That would keep the chart the most bullish. You know, as long as the middle Bollinger Band down at 105 is holding, the uptrend is intact. So far, it looks like it's just taking a pause today. It's unfortunate they had the big gap down open. You know, it had the close up here at 145, and it opened down here for no particular reason. There was no news or anything like that. It's just yeah, it's just unfortunate when they do that. So they opened it lower. People did load off of the EMA 4 support level. So look for a break above 134 and another close above the 100-day simple moving average to signal AEMD wants to head higher. Okay, thanks for this midday update, for checking it out. If you'd like to check out more videos, check us out at mychartcoach.com, and please watch the YouTube videos and subscribe to them, and then check out our Discord app. Okay, thank you.